What's going on, guys? This is Josh, as always, with JB Fitness, currently on my bedroom floor, foam rolling, in case you're wondering what the hell I'm doing. I wanted to talk about this video before it starts playing and just talk about the programming I'm going to be doing for this meet. So this is week one. I'm adopting more of a Blaine Sumner type methodology with programming, at least for bench so far. Unfortunately, I tweaked my lower back last week during kind of a freak thing, so I won't be able to do it so much with squatting, and deadlifting is going to be more of a linear thing, at least for the time being. But for the first volume block, I'm actually, instead of doing like tons of reps of bench or whatever, I'm actually going to be sticking to the competition style lift, and then my accessories will be where the volume comes in. So basically, this week is an 81.5% week on bench. So what I do is I go in on bench day and I hit 81.5%, which is about 315 for me, for 5 competition singles. So pause at the chest, press, rack, weight, do it again 5 times. And from there I go into my accessories, which is like incline. There's lots of incline, lots of overhead, lots of close grip, a lot of my weaknesses that need to be addressed. And that's where I do like my touch and go and whatever else. For all the stuff, I am sticking to as little rest as possible. So for upper body days, including for the 5 competition singles, I'm sticking to about 45 seconds to a minute rest before I go again, just to get that volume in, get that work in. Lots of volume still, and very high intensity. And because I'm only doing the 5 singles and then a little bit of accessory work, I'm able to train more frequently. So I actually benched 4 times this week. So I got 20 singles in, of 315 in a competition style. Next week I plan to go up just a little bit to 320, and then 325, and then 330 for the volume block, and then I'll start increasing the weight even more and increasing rest time as well. So squats, unfortunately, aren't going to work out. I did get a good squat session in this week, but it was just at lower weight. So for right now, that's just going to be linear, and then we'll kind of take it from there. So I hope you guys enjoy, and stay tuned for week 2 next week. Okay, so we're going to get week 1 started off here with some bench, of course. Now I'm going to be benching 3 days in a row. You guys are going to have to let me know how you want this kind of formatted. So I'm going to show all 5 singles here. Quickly, for this single, you're going to see that I fast forward through my rest period of a minute, but you can see in Sony Vegas this actually still does take quite a bit of time. So from this point forward, I just basically edit out the single rest periods and go from there. Some of the accessories are also going to be sped up. Now, I'd only recommend this program basically for more experienced lifters, just because you are kind of training at a high frequency, but also a moderately high percentage as well. These all move really, really well this week. So you also need to know not only what you can handle in terms of weight, but also in terms of frequency as well. So you kind of got to take some time to get to know your own body, do some regular programming first. All 5 of these reps move really, really well. There you go. And now we're just going to go ahead and move on here. So for accessories, I basically just show 1 set. This one here is the 300-pound slingshot. For a set of 5, and I do 3 sets of this. Again, this is all with 45 seconds to a minute rest in between. This was the first day, so I think I took the full minute, but as the week goes on, I take a little bit of rest. Actually, sorry, I take a little bit less rest as my body kind of adjusts. So after 3 sets of that, we switch over to incline, where originally I was going to do 170 for 3 or 4 sets of 6 to 8. But I managed to bang out a set of 10. Incline has always been kind of a weak point for me. I've never really focused on it, just because I've kind of always been focusing on powerlifting since I got into full-time strength training. So it's a big goal of mine to raise this up, to get my strength up in this, just because it helps to strengthen the chest and the shoulders. So I ended up getting 4 sets of 10, which is really good. And then to finish off this workout, we did 225 for 3 sets of 8 on close grip. And again, about a minute rest in between sets. And that is pretty much it for day 1. Okay, so day 2 has us doing some squats and bench originally. Now, because of the back strain that I'm fighting, I wasn't able to do regular squats, so I just did safety bar squats. Now, I really like these. This is actually my first time ever using this bar. I did a set of 135, and then I jumped to 185 for 4 sets of 8, which is a lot
it's a lot harder than I thought it would be. The weight's not heavy, obviously, but it just tries to dump you forward, which I didn't expect to be as intense as it was. But it actually felt really good, and it forced me to stay upright, which seemed to take some strain off my lower back. So I am going to be incorporating this a lot into my program, just to try to get used to it. But that is kind of why this looks kind of awkward. I'm kind of an awkward squatter anyway, but using a safety squat bar just seemed to magnify that. So we're going to go ahead and move on and do some stiff-legged deadlifts. So these are going to be the accessories that I've kind of sped up a little bit. Later on after bench, you'll see I do a shoulder press set that's sped up as well. Just because I don't think you guys really want to see this in full motion. It's nothing really crazy. I just wanted to show you guys kind of the accessory work that I'm doing. So 4 sets of 10 with 135, kind of a hybrid of a Romanian and a stiff-leg deadlift there. Work the hamstrings and then the glutes here. Again, this is sped up. I'm not actually humping the air that fast. I'm good at many things, but I'm not that great of a humper. Working on it, though. So after this, we move on to what I thought was safety bar squats again for some reason, but no, it is good mornings. I kind of forgot that I had done this. So 4 sets of 10. This is a horrible idea. First time ever doing good mornings with the safety squat bar, and couldn't have picked the worst time to do it because of the back strain. But it actually went pretty good, and it helped loosen my back muscles up, I felt. I was a little sore the next day from waking up when I woke up, but yeah, it wasn't too bad after all. I think it kind of actually helped me recover a little bit. So after that, we switch to bench, and we get our 5 singles in here, again of 315. So this is reps 6 to 10 this week of 315 pounds. It's about 81.5% rounded to the nearest 5 pounds, according to Excel. So these all move really, really well, of course, as they should. And I wanted to limit my accessory work just because the next day we bench again. A little bit more volume on the flat bench. So I wanted to kind of reduce that overall volume. And then you can see this is 4 sets of 8 with an overhead press. My overhead press is very weak as well, but this is something I'm focusing on improving in order to improve my bench and even my squat and deadlift. Sped up, of course, all sets again, but a minute rest in between. So week 1, day 3 of this program, this is my 3rd day lifting in a row, and it will also be my 3rd day benching in a row. So we're going to be doing 315 once again for 5 singles. So this will be singles 16 to 20. I think that I'm actually capable of hitting 25, maybe even 30 reps of this in a week, even for the first 80 to 85%, or maybe even a little bit higher. But because of all the accessories I'm doing, I'm just trying to reduce or eliminate some fatigue as much as I can. Even by this point, I'm already feeling a lot of fatigue, not only from the reps and the volume, but just the amount of training that I'm doing, especially with this being 3 days in a row. So the next week, actually week 2, I have it programmed a little bit differently. But all the weight moves really, really well. So after this, we move on to my only non-competition bench of the week. So I do 1 touch and go and 1 pause single for 6 sets of 2. So you just see 1 there. And then this one, I just do some incline again for 185 for 4 sets of 8. So about 15 pounds more for 4 sets of 8 reps instead of 10, as opposed to what I got on Sunday, which was 4 sets of 10 at 170. And this is it for chest day and for Tuesday. Alright, so after a much needed day off Wednesday, we're back for day 4 of week 1, and this is just a leg day, so I'm actually getting 2 days off in a row of bench, which is also much needed. This is my first actual squat session in probably 2 weeks, just because of my back injury. Now this is actually only about 57.5%. It's 300 pounds. I do 4 sets of 6 with a minute and a half rest. So I'm only going to show you sets of 1 to 4. Now with the GoPro and the lens being fisheye and the angle, I'm actually almost on the ground here. It's really, really hard to tell depth. I think I'm right there. But again, it's really, really hard to say, and it does feel kind of awkward just because of the fact I haven't squatted in a while. And these are also new shoes as well. So I got lots of excuses. So this is set 4. At this point, I'm fucking tired. The weight is not heavy. It's just when you're used to training at a certain intensity with with lots of rest, like I was, when you all of a sudden switch it up and incorporate far less rest and then lots of work, it fucking beats the shit out of you. So just stay tuned. And if you're looking for a challenge, just decrease your rest, and you'll see the difference. It's insane. And my focus is really just moving this weight as quick as I can and trying to stay somewhat upright just to kind of ease the pain on my back. Now after this, we go for 3 sets of 8 at 200 on the safety squat. This is a much better day with this. This is my second time using it, and you can see that the weight feels like it's moving a lot better. And this is after regular squats too. I wouldn't say the weight's moving better, but it seems a lot more fluent, which is kind of what I'm going for. I'd rather be comfortable with the movement than worry about first. Get comfortable with the movement first, and then worry about how much you're lifting. But I'm still trying to challenge myself a little bit here because the weight doesn't feel heavy. It's just the work it does in your lower back and your core, especially your core, is just absolutely ridiculous. And I like that it's pain-free on the shoulders and elbows too. After that, we go back to more stiff leg deadlifts and hip thrusts. A little bit more weight than last time for the same rep scheme, so 145 instead of 135 for 4 sets of 10. These ones actually I do 45 seconds rest for these and the glute raises. The glute raises I do a little bit more rest, actually about a minute, just because it's kind of awkward getting set up in this thing. I'm working on I'm going to have to get one of them pussy pads because this destroys my hip bones. Okay, so we're going to wrap up this week of training with more upper body training. This is supposed to be deadlifts, but unfortunately deadlifts aren't going to happen this week because of the back. It feels good, but I just didn't want to chance it. So this is Friday, so we're going to be doing more. This is 315 for, once again, 5 singles reps, 16 to 20. By now, my chest feels really tired and sore, but the weight still moves really, really well, and that's kind of what I want, is to build some fatigue and some soreness and train through it. So once this is done, we move on and we do some incline bench, and we do the slingshot with 315 for three sets of 5, paused, and then we go on the incline. From there, I do some dumbbell overhead press, and then I do some curls with the barbell, but I don't get those on video, unfortunately. So that is pretty much it for this week, guys. For incline, we get 200 actually for 4 sets of 8, which I'm really, really proud of. We're nearing PR territory, which is kind of saying something. Although in fairness, I don't train incline a whole lot, as I said. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for this week. Next week, I've already started recording and got lots of great stuff for you guys, switching things up a little bit with my frequency and whatnot. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Peace.